This is my new project car. It's not going to be a very quick finished project car, and this isn't the main project car that we're going to do, but this will be in the future. This will be finished, but I had to buy it now because I would never been able to get another one of these. This is a 1966 NSU Prinz 1000. Now the front emblem says it's a 1000, but I would call this an NSU Prinz 500, maybe a 600, because, well, it's been cut in half. This is going to be a fun video. So about maybe 2.5 weeks ago, I saw this thing listed on Facebook Marketplace for an asking price of $300. I was not going to pay $300 for this. So I kind of put it off until the guy messaged me. Okay, so here's how it happened. I messaged the guy, and I wanted to come take a look at it 2.5 weeks ago. But my schedule has been terrible for the past 2.5 weeks, where our schedules did not line up. So our schedules finally lined up yesterday on Saturday. So I went to look at this thing. Now, if I didn't buy this thing, he was going to scrap it. And the scrapper was going to give him $50 for it. So I gave him $45, and he took it. So what happened there was I did not want the scrapper to get it, because this is an interesting car. I did not want to see it go to the scrapyard, but I also kind of knew the scrapper that was going to take it, and it was a guy who would not sell me a Dodge Colt Vista station wagon, so I also didn't want him to get it. So let's take a look around this purchase that I have. First off, it has 12-inch wheels. Now, I don't own a car with 12-inch. My MG has 13-inch wheels. Hold on a second. Yeah, my MG Midget, it has 13-inch wheels, but these are 12. They're the original tires. They have German writing all over them. But what I find puzzling about this is that they're 5-lug. This is weird. I would expect them to be 3-lug, how small they are, but no, they are 5-lug wheels, and it's got this really cool grease cap with 4 dots in it. I don't know what that's supposed to signify. But, yeah, so it was a rear-engine vehicle. Since the rear portion of it is not here, it does not have a motor. Here's our interior. That right there is the drive shaft, or it wouldn't be the drive shaft tube, it's a stiffener tube that is sticking up and causing the seat to bend like that. We brought this thing home in the back of the truck. Prinz 1000 badging. I got a badge with this. The guy gave it to me. He said it was supposed to go here, but I looked at it and it was a motorcycle badge, so I gotta find one of those badges. Actually, no. I like the patina on the paintwork, on the hood and stuff. And the bezels, so if we look at this thing, if you just take a quick look at it, like you're looking over there, and then you take a quick look at it and look at something else, you would mistake this for a Chevrolet Corvair, except it's way smaller than a Corvair. I'd say it's a Corvair scaled down about 25%. It's very small. Up in the front here, we have a bunch of rat smell, and looks like evidence that rodents have been in here. The hood has, or the trunk lid, I guess you'd call it, it has rotten there, so that's fallen down. We got these horrible type fuses. They're the worst. This whole thing, it needs a lot of work, this thing. Now you may ask yourself, why would I buy this thing? Well, I paid $45 for it, which you can't get anything for $45. That's kind of cool. It's an extremely rare West German microcar. NSU was a motorcycle company. They made a few cars, and the whole front of it actually is in pretty good condition. I don't see that much rust in the front. There's a lot of rust in the back and in the floors and stuff, which I don't like. It's pretty bad. But, yeah, so what I'm going to do with this thing is I'm going to make, now this is going to be in the far future, maybe next year even, but I'm going to make a separate tube chassis for this thing and take all of this. I have a snowmobile, centrifugal clutch snowmobile engine, and a axle out of an ATV, and I'm going to put it all in the back on its own separate chassis with this attached, and I'll put a pickup truck bed on the back of this and use this around here, you know, picking things up. It's not going to be street legal unless I decide to get a title for it. Can't imagine it'd be too cheap though. But let's take a look at the interior. So if I open the door, that's as far as it opens. Oh, the door cards appear to be in okay condition. I mean, this turns, yeah, the vent window opener still works. This weird little knob, it actually still opens the vent window. Unfortunately, the vent window has been broken out. These little lights up here, these are actually Hella lenses on here. Those are OEM pieces. I wonder how much those are worth. They are actually turn signal blinkers because you cannot... I don't think that it has an interior warning that the turn... No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an interior warning that the turn signals are on. So they use those. They tell you they're on. I also have a rear fender for this thing, but that's going to be mounted on the wall. It looks cool. Here's the dashboard and the steering wheel. So the steering wheel, it still works. It turns the front wheels and everything. Here are the push switches for the dashboard. One of them's broken. Still has the original clock. The speedometer's broken, but the fuel gauge is also there. I wonder how much that clock is worth. I know Morris Minor clocks are hard to find. That door card is also there, and I've noticed, okay, the windshield in this thing is intact, okay? So I was looking at that. It's actually an intact windshield, which I really like. I mean, if I were to sell that, I don't know how much I could get for it. And I thought that was the only piece of glass intact until I got home and I saw this here. The passenger side window is also intact. So that's pretty good, actually. So yeah, I'm going to make this thing into like a farm pickup truck thing because I don't want to see it get scrapped. So that's what's going to happen with this thing. I bought half of an NSU Prinz, and I'm going to do something weird with it. But it won't be it's not in the immediate future, but it is in the foreseeable future that this thing will get some cool treatment.